You may now be seated. Good evening. My name is Oliver Gardner, and I am pleased to welcome parents, teachers, administrators, and faculty of Taylor Allderdice High School. I would like to give a special thanks to our principal, Miss Melissa Fries, for her hard work and dedication she has displayed in the past 4 years. We congratulate her on dealing with us as her first 4-year progressing class of Allderdice. Because of your support and encouragement, we, the graduating class of 2013, are all here today to celebrate this remarkable milestone in our lives. I would also like to thank the parents, not only mine, but everyone's, for the time, money, and effort and love you have provided us, not in these past 4 years, but our whole lives. And the young men and women who are here today, sitting in green and white, has been a great pleasure being able to represent as your class president. I couldn't have asked for a better group of friends and classmates. Our freshman year, we were somewhat unsure of ourselves, small fishes lost in the big sea, and apprehensive about what our future held for us. It's amazing how much we all changed in the last 4 years. On my first day here at Allderdice, I could barely find my class due to the fact that every hallway in Allderdice looks exactly the same. I got lost trying to find my algebra class freshman year because it was in the annex. So I began asking questions like, who built this extra hallway anyways? Why do all the football players look 25? And what they put in these lunches nowadays? But today, I'm proud to report that I can find my math class. The football players don't look older than I do, and I learned whatever you do, don't eat the mystery meat if you want to look your age. It's amazed me how much I learned in just a few months. Imagine what I learned these last few years. How different will we all be 2 years or 4 years, even 10 years from now? Today is just the first of many accomplishments I hope to achieve in my life. Many days have I sat and wondered how long will it be until it's finally over. Throughout our years at Allderdice, some of us joined sports teams, clubs, and band or musical, and come to find out we have so many talented students in this class. Many have really helped our students improve, our clubs expand, and help promote all that Allderdice has to offer. Not only have our years been socially fulfilling, but academically as well. Thanks to us at Allderdice is receiving the credibility it deserves because all of our hard work and dedication. We have helped elevate Dice's history to new levels. As we look back, it may seem to us that every high school year in similar finals, warm weather, yearbooks, and most excitingly, countdowns until summer. Until this year, one second semester rolled around, we all had a new countdown to consider, graduation. That day is upon us now, and I can't believe how fast it came. So today we will set out and find new grounds because the countdown is finally over. Here we are today at our high school graduation. Now we're going off into our futures. But we're well prepared thanks to our tremendous faculty and staff at Allderdice. With their help, we are able to receive the Pixar promise to achieve a higher education. One thing I would like for everyone to remember is if you remember nothing, you'll remember to stay safe during graduation night so we can start our futures tomorrow. But honestly, never forget, we all start in the dice and now you're here about to graduate and take on the world. Just know that every step in your journey, every goal you pursued, every dream you believed in is part of that success that is yours today. So now let's make a promise. To know something, to do something, and to be something. And let's add one more, be the change. Congratulations, class of 2013.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our Senior Vice President, Brandy Pickett.
Can everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
You actually have to still be standing. Please stand for the singing of our national anthem. You may now be seated. Good evening. My name is Melissa Fries, and I am the very proud principal and graduate of Allderdice High School. Each year, representatives from the Pittsburgh Board of Education attend our commencement and authorize the granting of diplomas. Joining us this evening on stage are our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. David May Stein, and school board members, Mrs. Teresa Calesi and Mr. William Eisler. Tonight will be Mrs. Calesi's last Allderdice commencement as a school board member. We thank her for her endless support of our students and wish her the best of luck in the future. Mrs. Calesi, please join me at the podium.
Yeah, I had something I wanted to say, and that just blew me away. That was completely unexpected. This is my 12th year as a representative in the school district and on the board, and I've had such pleasure of coming to these graduations, seeing your smiling faces, and seeing that you've accomplished so much, and your lives are in front of you, and you have so much more to give. I beg you, don't stop, come back, give us more. You have what it takes. We've showed you the way. Take the next step. Make us proud. Make us want to brag, because I'm so proud to be here, and I'm so proud to celebrate this with you. So God bless you all, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Calesi. At this time, Mr. Eisler will join us for a few words.
Thank you, Ms. Fries. Oliver, if you represent this class, we have a lot to be proud of in this city of Pittsburgh. Your remarks were phenomenal. In a few minutes, he said a tremendous amount about the present and the future. But on behalf of the board, I want to thank, first of all, the parents. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here, and these graduates wouldn't be here. And your love and your support and your work and your encouragement is what's got them here. And it's a pleasure to be able to work with you cooperatively with Ms. Fries and a fabulous, fabulous administrative staff. And I have to tell you, the faculty is second to none in the country. One of the things I can tell you is that in the Pittsburgh public school system, we have great students, we have great teachers, and we have learning happening. And I want to tell the graduates something about the Pittsburgh Promise. It was a commitment made by a lot of people in this city to you. And you, in turn, and those who have come before you, have helped us to continue that promise. That promise and the continuation of the promise rests on all the work you do. And I want to thank you, and we look forward to you and all the great things you will do for you, for your family, for this city, and for this country. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Eisler. Pittsburgh Allderdice is very fortunate to have a dedicated staff to serve our students. Tonight, we have over 90 staff members flanking the right and left sides of our graduating class, assisting off stage and seated among our graduates. As a principal, one can only hope for a staff as supportive and hardworking as these individuals. Please join me in thanking them for their service and dedication to our students. Please also join me in thanking our administrators, Mr. Baldassar, Mr. Santafanti, and Mr. Dobies. Thank you for your support and commitment to our students as well. Also, please join me in thanking our pupil services staff who have helped with our processional today and have provided counseling services to our students throughout their years at Allderdice. Mr. Gelman, Dr. Griffin, Mrs. Genter, Ms. Hecht, and Ms. Kenna. And last, Mrs. Lynn Warner. Mrs. Warner will be retiring at the end of the year after serving over 20 years at Allderdice alone. Mrs. Warner has made a difference in so many students' lives, including my own, because she was my guidance counselor when I was a student at Allderdice. We will greatly miss you and your dedication to Allderdice. Like Oliver said before, in 2009, the graduating class was my first 9th grade class as the principal of Allderdice High School. This would be the year that my work at Allderdice as a principal would take root, after being rooted in the school's history as both a teacher and a graduate in the past. As such, I could not agree more with the theme selected by this year's valedictorians, roots. Roots to me are what holds this school together. We have those students who began their roots at Allderdice in the 9th grade, and others who arrived well after the start of their high school career. Regardless of when they started, they are Allderdice. We have families who are 2- and 3-year generational Allderdice families, and those who will be the first of their family to graduate from Allderdice. Regardless of who came before them, they are Allderdice. We have staff members who have attended, worked at Allderdice, and or subsequently have chosen to educate their students or their children at Allderdice. They are proud to be Allderdice. The Allderdice story is one of generations of young men and women who have been able to know something, do something, and as a result, become someone who has made a difference in our community and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening, the young men and women who stand before you today, waiting ever so anxiously to walk across this stage, have further defined our history and our roots as a school. These students are more than just GPAs and test scores, scholarship recipients, championship title holders, and award winners. These students have the potential to change the way we see our world, taking on the roles of doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, politicians. The list is endless. I have no doubt in my mind that this class will make a difference and that this class will make our world a better place to live, work, and raise a family. My hope is that each of these students will continue to stay true to their roots and commit to doing 3 things. The first is to know something. Continue to immerse yourself in knowledge. The greatest gift you can give yourself is to further your education. Education opens your eyes to new things and helps you to discover new possibilities you may have never thought possible. Do something. Continue to set goals for yourself that will help you to achieve your greatest potential. By setting your goals high and working hard to achieve them, you will accomplish great things. And finally, be something. Continue to strive to be someone who has a positive impact on our society. What you work hard to accomplish makes you who you are, regardless of the significance to someone else. It has been my absolute honor to be your principal for the past 4 years at Allderdice. I am so very, very proud of each and every single one of you and will miss you very, very much. You will always be remembered in my heart as being my first full class to graduate at Allderdice. I wish you nothing but the best, nothing but success in the future, and I love you, and I hope you stay in touch so that I can see you be in the same spot. Meaning, I'm going to need to have someone fill my role at some point at Allderdice. At this time, I would like to introduce the Pittsburgh Allderdice class of 2013 valedictorians. The valedictorian honor is awarded to the students with the highest unweighted grade point average. This year's Pittsburgh Allderdice is honored to announce that we have 9 valedictorians. Our 9 valedictorians are as follows: Rebecca Brown, John Funari, Mara Greenberg, Julia Holber, Nathaniel Landis, Jorlyn LeGarrick, Jacob Parker, Brett Weinberger, and Joshua Zach. This evening's remarks by our valedictorians will begin with Julia Holber.
The world has named us. We are Generation Y, the millennials, and according to a recent article in Time magazine, the me generation. We are lazy and entitled. We use social networking for self-inflation, and surveys show our levels of narcissism are unprecedented. However, and perhaps this is just me being narcissistic, I believe the world has not yet realized the incredible strengths, vast potential, and unique attributes our generation possesses. When I think of my classmates graduating here today, the word I think of is not me, but rather we. Looking into the crowd, I see a generation more tolerant, accepting, and willing to love than ever before. We are internet connected, joined in a way no prior generation has been. With the help of technology, we have a new awareness of others, here and around the world. And we are a united class, who despite our different backgrounds and circumstances, are celebrating a joint success today, which we know has not only to do with the word me, but with the teachers, administrators, coaches, parents, and grandparents who believed in us and helped us reach this milestone. We are Allderdice, the proud inheritors of the know something, do something, be something creed. Behind us are the awesome accomplishments of generations past. Ahead of us are the dreams we can make possible. We millennials, with all the resources this era has to offer, and with a deeper understanding of those around us, have the power to be the change we wish to see in the world. And that world might seem cold and cruel, especially to a class whose academic career has been marked with national tragedies, only first graders for 9/11 and seniors for Sandy Hook. But as we chart a course through uncertain times, I hope that we spend less time on Facebook and more time face-to-face, acting with compassion, speaking up, and listening to each other. So may we, the class of 2013, celebrate many more successes and share the lessons learned at Allderdice about unity, understanding, empathy, and action, and prove to the world that all of us, me's, can work together to create a better, stronger, more beautiful we. Thank you. And now, here's Rebecca Brown.
It was the metal detectors that got me. Imposing structures that called out danger. Standing in line my first day of freshman year, I felt like I was in a scene out of a movie. It was chaos. Students pushing to get by each other, people hurriedly opening their backpacks for inspection as Chisholm looked through each bag like a pro. What is this place, I thought to myself. Walking into Allderdice, I felt a world away from my comfort zone. 4 years later, I can say with complete confidence that I have mastered the metal detectors. Arriving to school with few minutes to spare, I have my 40-second routine down to a science and no longer even notice the machines that once caused me so much fear. The metal detectors are just one example of how Allderdice introduces us to new experience to step out of our own familiar routes. Allderdice prepares us for life by teaching us to welcome new situations and introducing us to all kinds of people, people different than those in our families or even neighborhoods. But the main thing that Allderdice instills in its students is that you get what you give. Ms. Fries and the rest of the Allderdice faculty have worked to show us that results aren't instant. They take effort, patience, discipline, and hard work. Our roots are in this school, complete with its eccentric characters and, yes, metal detectors. So as we embark on our next chapters, be cognizant that Allderdice contributed greatly to who we all are. And when you're a famous rapper, doctor, business person, school security guard, writer, politician, or whatever you choose to be, come back and give the Promise Ready students free tickets to your concert, or whatever your version of that may be. You have to pay it forward. Thank you. And next up is Brett Weinberger.
I have 1 minute to recap my entire high school experience. In that short period, I'm supposed to tell you about the countless times I fell down the stairs when I was on crutches, and the even greater amount when I was not. How when I was called down to the office, I was referred to as he, and my yearbook photo was replaced by my brother's because there was no way my face could have been Brett. I must explain that on the first day of high school, I somehow managed to make the simplest of sandwiches, the peanut butter and jelly, wrong. Well, now I stand here on the last day of high school, and it doesn't seem like much has changed. The first gown they ordered for me was in fact green. Aside from the constant gender battle, it is impossible to communicate my true feelings about Allderdice. Allderdice harbored all of these reminiscences that I will hold on to forever. It is not physically the structure of the school, nor the programs it offers, nor the teachers that make it the establishment that it is. Each and every one of you has made some friendship, has had one laugh, has had one moment that defined your time in high school. You made the most of your experiences, and in turn, made mine. These 4 years felt like 1 minute, and I have all of you to thank. Thank you. Next is Nathaniel Landis.
On my first day at Allderdice, I got lost on my way to civics class. I was a tiny kid in an enormous building, and I was a little bit scared. Then another student came up to me and helped me find my way to class. Later that day, I went to cross-country practice, and that same student was there and asked me if I had made it to class all right. Experiences like this remind me that as an Allderdice student, I am part of a great community, and though I have not had the pleasure of meeting each and every member of the class of 2013, I know that we all found something that we love in this school. Whether we joined sports teams or academic competitions or both, we all found our own place in this community, and now it is time to leave Allderdice behind. But we can never leave behind the bonds and memories that we've shared at Allderdice. Thank you. And next is Jorlyn LeGarrette.
Commencement is not only about today, but also yesterday and tomorrow. Yesterday, a day of memories. Memories that we all share. Our first day walking into school and the last day walking out. Both with the familiar looming metal detectors, jostling crowds, excitement, and one crucial difference. Today, we leave Allderdice feeling confident and ready for the next step to come. But in between are memories I will never forget. Friends and teachers, sports teams and pep rallies, and of course, life lessons. How to get from the first to the second floor annex with the library in the way, or how to navigate the halls with an oversized backpack. As I said, life lessons that got me here today. Today, a day of celebration. Our 4-year journey is over. Together, we, the class of 2013, made it to this monumental moment. A moment where we accept congratulations from our proud family and friends, take our diploma in hand, and anticipate tomorrow. Tomorrow, the day we leave Allderdice's halls and begin our separate journeys. As we leave today, I urge you all to remember that it is chance and opportunity that got us to this point. And as we move forward, the opportunities are endless. It is sometimes just a matter of casting the dice. Next up is Jacques Funari.
Hello. Like my peers here, I'm here to tell you what Allderdice was for me and how it changed my life. And after some thinking, I decided that Allderdice, for me, was an awakening. The second half of high school was the most important time of my life. However, much like the second half of the school day, I spent a good time of it doing one of my favorite things, sleeping. People sitting next to me in physics used to slap me a couple times to wake me up, to get me back on track. It's not that I didn't like school, I just couldn't stop myself from falling asleep. So whenever I fell asleep, they would slap me again. Mostly because it's funny to hit sleeping kids in the face, but also because they couldn't bear to see me fail. So I would wake up and stay awake. And now I've finally gotten here. It's the end of 9th period, and I'm standing here, not knowing what I actually learned today, but knowing that I learned something. I probably won't figure out what I learned for a long time, but I'm thankful that I learned it, and I'm glad that I'm finally awake. I'm grateful to both the students and teachers that literally and figuratively smacked me in the face, because without them, these past few years would have been much worse, and I wouldn't be here today, awake and prepared to stay awake for the future. And next is my friend, the beautiful Mara Greenberg.
When we were first given the topic of roots, I really had no idea what I wanted to write about. I didn't want to make my speech generic, but at the same time, originality proved elusive. So I'm going to deviate a little bit from the theme of roots. We are all gathered here today because we are graduating. We have all succeeded in passing high school. But what today belies is the path we have taken to reach this point. For most, Allderdice proved to be challenging in a variety of ways. Academically, we all failed tests, though hopefully not too many. We had to learn how to study and how to manage our way through assignments, as well as various teachers' personalities and expectations. Socially, we may have failed to maintain relationships with our best friends from middle school or tried on an unsuccessful persona or two during our 4 years here. As freshmen, navigationally, we were all confused about the layout of Allderdice at one point or another. In my case, I thought that neither of the annex stairwells connected to the second floor. But tonight, we have all met the requirements for graduation, even though we may have failed a test or two. We've made great friends, despite not maintaining all of our relationships. And as seniors, we knew how to navigate the halls of Allderdice with skill. For me, one of the most challenging experiences of high school was writing this speech. It was a very start and stop process. I must have completely rewritten it 5 times. At one point, I even said that I didn't want to speak, but here I am. What I'm trying to say is, don't ever become discouraged. The root of every success is failure. There, I managed to get in that roots idea. So I'll leave you this evening with the words of Samuel Beckett. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better. And hopefully, may we also find some success. Thank you. Okay. Next is Jacob Parker.
My most internal passion in life is my perspective. Every day, I set out to broaden it, to enrich it. I set out to, through my perspective, see the world for what it really is. I do this primarily by reading both novels and pure philosophy, as well as listening to music and thinking, a lot of thinking. However, over the last 4 years, I have done something else as part of my perspective pursuit, unachievable by just reading or deep thinking. I have attended Allderdice, the melting pot of perspectives. This school has opened my mind and transformed my outlook. I think I speak for more than just myself when I say that Allderdice has forever influenced the way in which I view the world around me. Through reading, I've encountered countless ideas, and none is more fitting at this very moment than this, summarized in a quote by Søren Kierkegaard. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Starting today, we move forward with our lives, but through reflection, our past, our dear Allderdice will be there with us every step of the way. Thank you. And last, we have Joshua Zach.
I have had a pretty variable experience with education in my life. In fact, before Allderdice, I had never spent more than 2 years in any one school. As you can imagine, I have become used to transitions and adaptations. So, coming from a private school in another country to Allderdice, I believe myself to be prepared for anything. I was wrong. Allderdice is such a unique and diverse place that truly never fails to entertain. At first, I found it difficult to adapt to such a fluid environment. But now, having done so, I feel like I'm ready for anything. I have learned so much in the last 4 years, not only for my academic future, but also for life in general. I can say with confidence that my high school experience was different from all of yours, and different from any other students in the world as well. That is just the nature of Allderdice. It advocates for students to take individual paths, and it provides for them in doing so. I cannot express my gratitude toward all of the teachers and administrators that make Allderdice what it is. After the 4 long years I spent at Allderdice, the longest I have ever spent in one school by far, I feel ready to tackle the challenges of college life and life beyond education. I know that I will always have the memories of my time at Allderdice, and I will never forget the people I have met and the friends I've made, those who have kept me grounded through thick and thin. But now, it's time to move on, and that's exactly what we're all doing here today. Thank you.
Thank you all for those very inspirational words. Each year, the Superintendent's Excellence for All Achievement Award is given to a graduating senior. This year, we are pleased to have with us Assistant Superintendent Mr. David May-Stein, who will present this award.
This year, each secondary school principal was requested by the superintendent to nominate one member of the graduating class for the Superintendent's Excellence for All Achievement Award. Principals were requested to nominate students who should be recognized as outstanding members of their classes who had already received some special honor. The superintendent recognizes that it is impossible to honor every student whose achievement is outstanding, but in recognizing the one student nominated, it is possible to salute the outstanding achievement of an individual student who is representative of the total achievement of the class. In the absence of the superintendent, who is unable to be present at all of the commencement programs, it is my pleasure this evening to present the Superintendent's Excellence for All Achievement Award to the student who was nominated for that honor by Mrs. Fries. Please join me in saluting Pittsburgh Allderdice High School's Mara Greenberg.
Thank you.
Mara bakes some of the best cupcakes I've ever had. At this time, please join me in welcoming Senior Danny Huggins, who will address the senior class regarding the Pittsburgh Promise.
What is a Pittsburgh Promise? Numerically speaking, it's basic math. $10,000 a year for 4 years. Take this money and go to any college east to west of PA. However, the value of this scholarship is indeed so great that a dollar amount does it no justice. Although after receiving your tuition estimate for your freshman year, it is kind of a breath of fresh air. But more importantly, a Pittsburgh Promise is something that encompasses much more than a 2.5 GPA followed by a $40,000 scholarship. It's credence that in our class of 340 students, we withhold future physicists, teachers, political leaders, sports gurus, engineers, and more. A Pittsburgh Promise is the expectation that goals must be reached and go further than anticipated with the assistance from this award. Our Pittsburgh Promise is a conjecture that all beneficiaries will reach out to the Promise scholars that will follow in our path. The Promise truly does live in all of us, and this opportunity gave us a little something extra to strive for. And in summation of our high school careers, on behalf of the Promise Scholars of the Allderdice class of 2013, we gratefully accept this fund and thank all of those who gave us this goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Mr. May-Stein will now address the senior class of 2013.
Now I can see you all. I was hiding down here a little earlier, but now I can see each and every one of you. And it is my pleasure and honor to stand in front of you this evening. I am pleased to acknowledge the 2013 class of Pittsburgh Allderdice and authorized Principal Melissa Fries to grant diplomas to the members of this class.
Before we begin the awarding of diplomas, I just want to mention one student who this evening is in New Orleans competing in the African American Challenge Bowl. His name is Samir Namaro. Samir, along with a fellow classmate who is an underclassman, for the first time in Allderdice's history, has had the opportunity to participate at the national level for the African American Challenge Bowl. And though I have not received the news yet, as of yesterday, they were competing in the championship round at the same time the commencement was taking place. So if I can get an answer by the end as to what, hopefully he's bringing home a championship. At this time, diplomas will now be awarded, beginning with our valedictorians.
Joshua Joseph Zach. Jerlyn Marie LeGarrick. Brett Nicole Weinberger. Rebecca Cecile Brown. Julia Pearl Holber. Mara Lynn Greenberg. John Henry Shenyu Finari. Nathaniel Abraham Landis. Jacob Parker. Jordan Charisse Brown Christian. William Earl Hargrove. Brandy Joy Pickett. Oliver Monroe Gardner. Danny Nicole Huggins.
Kamaria Tanae Mitchell. Kiana Hope Scott. Brooklyn Rose Price. Michael Allen Kosh. George Curtis Zeck. Mia Alexandra DeStefano. Jennifer Marie Moritz. Jacob William Watmorse. Gabriel Nacarado III. Brandon Nacarado. Jeffrey Jew. Aaron Noah Jackson. Malik Jamal Abrams. Vincent Peebles.
Amber Yvonne Adkins.
Muna Ibrahim Adan.
Malaysia Shate Best.
Kaylin Murray.
Taryn Brooks.
John Bacody.
Sabria Charles.
Justin Seco.
Sharon Freeman.
Brianna Renee Debo.
Shiri Goldis.
Asha John A. Freeman.
Liam Heaney.
John F. Hinda.
Aaron Elias Kramer.
Jasmine Sharon Johnson.
Jamia Alexis Lamore.
Michelle Alon Johnson.
Alicia Michelle Lee.
Natasha Johnson.
Michelle Andy Laurie.
Katarina Christina Klett.
Sarah Naomi Sprague Overby.
Adam Milyak.
Christopher John Pulowski.
Danny Chi Duck Win.
Cornelius Lamont Ray.
Jasad Dahad Pearson.
Olivia Ruth Stern.
Esma Kutyan.
Rontasia Deshay Taylor.
Adam Jesse Reed.
Serena Valentino.
Deja Sims.
Felice LaShawn Walker.
Shantara Taylor.
Dominique Watts. Suzanne Lee Weiss.
Samson Abrams.
Michelle Rose Worthy.
Homer James Braden.
Niles Young.
Rachel Dobkin.
Brittany Michelle Balzer.
Terrell Gray.
Alexis Lee Barry.
Tyron Green.
Shane Compton.
Alexi Howryluck.
Lucas Futchterman.
Faria Makomwa.
Sydney Love Haber.
Brian Resavage.
Trayvon Max Ivory.
Malika Morris.
Taylor Janae Johnson.
Emily Sawyers.
Ellen Joy McKegg.
Tajale Nairi Capri Williams.
Brianna Unel Moore.
Terrell Wright.
Leah Marie Roberts.
Louisa Eve Blazier.
Justin Scott Rogalski.
Gerard Doswell Hardrick.
Olivia Savitsky.
Mark Donald Emery.
Shayna Lanice Thompson.
Anna Michelle Glosser.
Larry Darnell West III.
Josie Kime Griffith.
Sydney Lachelle Abernathy.
Dakota Holt.
Anthony Anishevsky.
Brennan Hoffer.
Zainab Burhanuddin.
Jaden Hummel.
Brayla Cohen.
Emily Menke.
Alessandro Federico Conway.
Jeremiah E. Johnston.
Alfred Diggs.
Cody Kramer.
Olivia Falk.
Emma Louise Marsland.
Caleb Hyde.
Erica McCain.
Russell Lawrence.
Benjamin Peters.
Kai Leeper.
Alex Obringer.
Clara Maza.
And Tyrell White.
Michael Paredes.
Deja Ali.
Daniel Herbert Spatel.
Precious Bennett.
Royce Witherspoon.
Chelsea Biffer.
Caitlin Denjois.
Eli Boninger.
Brian E. Eastep.
Christopher Bridges.
Chase Felton.
Jerome Brooks.
Patrick Andrew Ferguson.
Brittany Dimas.
Megan Godovchik.
Peter Gao.
Alexander Andrews Kent.
Chuck Hamel II.
Katie McKinley.
Rosalind Grace Hillenbrand.
Hamdi Mohammed.
Timothy Joyce.
Shadi Santos Parker.
Joseph Killer.
Celeste Racer.
Emmanuel Matthews.
Sabrina Marie Schmuck.
Orly Sonia Albon.
Courtney Steiner.
Brian Pleffer.
Kelsey Sturm.
Giovanni Roscoe.
Anthony Tootie.
Nadeja Saab.
Congratulations, Ann.
Hannah Olisheimer.
Jordo Smith.
Alex Babuena.
Deja Snow.
Brandon Baishelia.
Luke Staniszewski.
Tony Campion.
Goda Tartijonas.
Timothy Lee Donner.
Gregory Webb.
Stephanie Fuller.
Jocelyn Vincent.
Braden Hoffer.
Andrew Weisfeld.
Tyler Hawley.
Diamond Renee Williams.
Shaquille Johnson.
Justin Zack.
Maisha Knight.
Mary Kaylan Zeza.
Terrell Macklin. Sean Monroe.
Diamond Renee Williams.
Danielle Muhammad. Jason Pearson.
Inari Davenport.
Mitchell Pearson.
Brianna Lynn Fisher.
Diana Purdom.
Eli Galernter.
Fred Ramsey.
Constantine Gerolakis.
Malia Rosenfeld.
Danny Guyan.
Forrest Ruji Whittaker.
Malaya Jones.
Danielle Terlicki.
Zava.
Crystal West.
Say it twice. Zava Candler.
Ross DeAndre Youngblood.
Aiden Marty.
Jason Allen Britton.
David Moy.
Sydney Jean Buzzle.
Dylan Mulvihill.
Darius Isel Covington.
Reggie Olivis.
Brian Eugene Hance.
James Pace.
Andrea Rose Johnson.
Casimir Pellegrini.
Daniel Whitman Keitel.
Gabrielle Porfirio.
Hannah Claire Moritz.
Andre Rosser.
Thomas Weesong Park.
Jennifer Velez.
Avery Joseph Petty.
Ahmad Witherspoon Jr.
Raymond Peterson Mangum.
Jin Wu.
Rainier Satif Smith.
Matea Yarbrough.
Brittany Shantae Stanton.
Caitlin Marie Brown.
Charles Edward Strong.
Matthew Henry Fidel.
Justin Thornhill Bay.
Raymond Green. Matthew James Yarbo. 1L LaShawn Hodge.
David Berkeley Jr.
Derek Jessup.
Samuel Davis.
Kevin McLee.
Angelo Franchini.
DJ Muldrow.
Bishop Gaithers.
Cherish Newby.
Corey Johnson.
Jonas Portillo.
Avelino Komaka.
Sheng Tao.
Natalie Laman Mana.
Akiba Rain Washington.
Victoria Lowry.
Angela P. Williams.
Samuel Mayslick.
Mary Catherine Woolard.
Brendan McShane.
Aaron Joseph Comport.
Sandell Nelson Hall.
Brianna Garcia Dixon.
Cal Rowley.
Stephen Garcia Jasper.
Kier Richardson.
Shakia LaShawn Hammond.
Jamie Shorts.
Noah Arza Kleonsky.
Rachel Hannah Scrotto.
Sonia Glick Korzeniewski.
Lindsay Strom.
Ricardo Giuseppe Yovette Nava.
Sonia Darden.
Mackenzie Nadine McLean Smith.
Samantha Cassandra Davis.
Ariel Piazza.
Ian Joseph DeSilvio.
Mark James Rush.
Allison Elizabeth Gage.
Austin Amante Smith.
Joshua Horgan.
Adam Lewis Summers.
Nichelle Jackson.
Tequil Lamar Carter Taylor.
Lucas David Johnson.
Taylor Renee Washington.
Brian Krinberg.
Sheltea Lachelle Williams.
Ronald Massey.
Jonah Barron.
Andrew Chance McCombs.
Hannah Busis.
Tyler Andrew Maloney.
Stephen Dunworth.
Tony Nixon.
Abdul Etadoni.
Alex Nossoff.
Lamont Germany.
Corey Richard Obringer.
Brandon Hench.
Melvin Palmer.
Deja Jackson.
Trent Delwan Petty.
Lansana Kaba.
Lavelle Kevin Sneed.
Abigail Katsos.
James Thomas.
Cheyenne Lewis.
Jalen Rashad Wilkins.
Stella Long.
Abdallah.
Justice McCollum.
Bantu Kiro.
John Munyon.
Ibrahim Fike.
Asia Roberts.
Luna Singtushka Jermaine.
Samantha Sanfratello.
Anna Yarmas.
Brianna Stanton.
Blake Kelly.
Nicola Vidic.
Erica Lisitsa.
Dana Luis Vigilia.
Kelly Lynn McIntyre.
Emma Yellen.
Decca Muhammad. John Michael Poliziani. Sanju Sigdel. Shanique Sowell.
Dele Dina.
Willem van de Bomen.
Brianna Fields.
Eric Walters.
Leah Furman.
Amin Withrow Davis.
Veronica Glaze.
Tyreek Woods.
Jacob Yoda Himes. Lauren McKenzie. Zane Crawford Money. Maggie Musetti. Omari Payne. Michelle Bucciarelli. Ready? Jameek Reed. Alex Richardson. Noor Salman. Javon Smith. Max Telmer. Leanne Towsley. Darren Tran. Alea Big Juice Washington. Thomas Washington. Kevin Woods. Fabian Spinden.
right, guys. Caught me off guard. You guys caught me off guard. Now you threw your hats and I didn't even say that you were graduates yet. All right, so at this time, before I tell you to turn your tassel, hot off the press, Allderdice defeated Philadelphia 49-28 in the 100 Black Men National Championship. We won. Yes, we won. At this time, are we all ready? On behalf of the Pittsburgh Board of Education, I hereby declare that the 2013 class of Pittsburgh Allderdice High School to be graduated. Please join me in congratulating them. And as we conclude today's program, I ask the now graduated class to join me in singing our alma mater. Thank you. And though the class did the Allderdice Dragon chant, I need it one more time before you go. Allderdice! 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 Thank you. Thank you for attending our commencement today. The students will now begin their recessional beginning at the back of the seating area.
everyone. Good luck in your near future.